In the heart of Washington, D.C., long before the fame, the spotlight, and the roaring crowds, there was just a boy named David Michael Bautista Jr., a boy who grew up in the rough neighborhoods of the nation's capital. His story isn't just about muscles or fame, it's about survival, belief, and the courage to rise again and again when the world tells you no. The streets weren't kind to Dave. He was raised in a world of hardship, surrounded by crime, poverty, and struggle. His parents separated early, and life quickly became about making it through each day. By his own words, he was a kid lost in chaos, searching for meaning, searching for something to believe in. At just 13, Dave watched his neighborhood crumble around him. He saw violence up close, he felt the sting of hunger, and he knew what it meant to go without. There were moments he thought he wouldn't make it. Yet somewhere deep inside that tough exterior, something began to grow, an unshakable fire, a belief that one day, he would be more than his circumstances. He started lifting weights, not for glory, but for survival. The gym became his church, the iron his teacher. Every rep, every lift, every drop of sweat was a step toward control, a step toward a better version of himself. But even as he grew stronger, life wasn't done testing him. He worked as a bouncer in clubs, got into trouble, and at one point, was arrested. Those moments could have been the end. But for Dave, they were the beginning. He knew that if he didn't change, his story would end right there. So, he made a choice to rebuild, to start again, to fight for something greater. Then came the opportunity that changed everything. Professional wrestling. Dave Bautista entered the world of WWE, an industry built on larger-than-life characters, pain, and performance. But nothing about his journey was easy. His first tryout didn't go well. He was told he didn't have what it takes, that he'd never make it in wrestling. But the fire inside him refused to die. He trained harder, pushed further, and learned from every fall. He studied the art, the storytelling, and the psychology of wrestling. And slowly, the world began to see something special in him. His body was massive, his presence intimidating, but behind that power was a man with humility and heart. Then, under the bright lights of WWE, the name Bautista was born. The animal. The powerhouse. The unstoppable force. Crowds roared his name as he rose from an unknown rookie to one of the most dominant champions in WWE history. His rivalry with Triple H, his alliance with Evolution alongside Ric Flair and Randy Orton, his world title wins. Each moment was a chapter in a story that millions around the world would never forget. But success in the ring came with its own price. The pain, the loneliness, the endless travel, it takes a toll. And yet, Dave never let it break him. Instead, he used it as fuel to keep evolving, to keep chasing growth. Then, when most would settle, he made a decision that shocked everyone. He left wrestling to chase a dream even riskier than the first. Hollywood. A 6'4" muscle-bound wrestler trying to make it in acting. People laughed. Critics doubted him. The world expected another tough guy stereotype. But Dave Bautista wasn't interested in being just another action hero. He wanted to tell stories that mattered. 4 years, he faced rejection after rejection. Casting directors told him he wasn't right for the part. Agents turned him away. But like every time before, he didn't quit. And then came Drax the Destroyer. Guardians of the Galaxy. With that single role, Dave Bautista shattered every expectation. He brought humor, emotion, and humanity to a character that could have easily been one-dimensional. The audience didn't just see Drax, they saw Dave. The pain, the strength, the vulnerability. From there, his career exploded. He worked alongside the biggest names in Hollywood. Daniel Craig in Spectre and Knives Out, Denis Villeneuve in Blade Runner 2049 and Dune. But no matter how far he went, he never forgot where he came from. Behind the fame and success is a man who never stopped being real. A man who openly talks about his struggles with anxiety, with feeling misunderstood, with the constant pressure of proving himself. And that honesty, that vulnerability, has made him more inspiring than any championship belt or movie role ever could. Because Dave Bautista's story isn't just about becoming a superstar, it's about becoming a man who believes in empathy, kindness, and perseverance. He speaks of his past not with shame, but with pride. The pain taught him compassion. The failures taught him humility. And the victories taught him gratitude. When he returns to wrestling, fans don't just see the animal. They see a man who fought life itself and won. He stands as proof that no matter where you come from, no matter how broken your start, your ending is yours to write. Soft piano music builds under his voice, images of Bautista training, smiling with fans, filming on movie sets. There's something rare about Dave Bautista. Beneath the muscle, there's a heart that never stopped beating for the underdog. Beneath the fame, there's a man who remembers what it feels like to be invisible. And that's why millions connect with him, not because he's perfect, but because he's real. In every scene, in every match, in every role, Dave carries the weight of his past and turns it into light. He's not just the man who conquered wrestling, or the actor who conquered Hollywood. He's the man who conquered himself. And that, above all, is what makes him unstoppable. As the credits roll and the lights fade, one message remains. You can rise from nothing. You can rebuild after failure. You can be both strong and kind, powerful and humble. Because Dave Bautista showed the world that true strength isn't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can fight for your dreams, and still stay human. Final shot, Dave standing alone in a quiet gym, staring at his reflection, smiling faintly. Narrator, softly. Dave Bautista, the animal, the actor, the fighter, the man who turned pain into purpose,